And we are live. It's Wednesday, December 15th, and we're getting ready for week 15. Ladies and gentlemen, let's do this the right way. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Hashtag Sports. Again, guys, my name is Joe. If you're new to the channel, if this is your first time in 15 weeks coming to picks and predictions to razor sharp picks, we do this every Wednesday, 10 o'clock live. But if you're joining us after the live stream, make sure you hit that like button as well. And let me know your picks in the comment section. Been having a pretty good year, if I do say so myself. Again, if you're hanging out with me, using my picks against the spread, using each one every single week, we're winning some money. And that's all you can ask for. Won a little bit more money last week. Not a lot. Let's not get it wrong, but won a little bit more. So if you look at my record last week, straight up, a beautiful 11-3. I love straight up last week, hoping for an against the spread record like that this week. Against the spread last week, 8-6. Overall, straight up 133-75 against the spread, 111-95-2. So those are my records, and the whole thing starts now, right? You talk about no more bye weeks, right? So we're going back to 16 full NFL games. And I'm just really looking forward to seeing how we can do with all 16 games now. Every single team playing, those teams getting ready for a playoff push, those teams who are trying to figure out who's going to be part of the team in 2022 and who is going to be either on the trade market once the 2022 season starts, or people they don't want to resign, things like that. Every team, every player still has something to play for, and we have to make sure we make those right picks. Give me 1 second here, guys, as I continue to figure out my picks and give you guys the best picks heading into week 15. Again, guys, if you haven't already, hit that like, hit that thumbs up button, like this video, and leave a comment. Let me know who you're picking. And I will let you know who I am picking right now. And it starts with Thursday night football. Thursday night, you got a pretty great game in the AFC West, a game between the LA Chargers and the Kansas City Chiefs, a game the Chargers won back in September, right? When these two teams played earlier this year, the Chargers won. If the Chargers want to try to overtake the Kansas City Chiefs in the AFC West, this is a must-win game for them, right? They have to sweep the Kansas City Chiefs, the defending AFC representative in the Super Bowl last season. They have to sweep them this year in order for them to have a chance to win the AFC West. The Chiefs are hot, right? The Chiefs are on fire right now. No one has been able to stop the Chiefs over the past 6-7 weeks. And the Chiefs are 3-point favorites in this game. Vegas thinks that the Chiefs are going to do the same thing as they've been doing the last couple of weeks and take down the LA Chargers. Justin Herbert, the Chargers, they're trying to get on a winning track, right? They're trying to be consistent winners, and they just haven't proven to be able to do that this season. And I just don't know about this game. Now, it is a Thursday night game, so not as much time to prepare as the Chiefs would like. And normally on Thursday night, I like the home team compared to the away team, especially when there's a time difference. Hey, Daniel, good to see you in here as we are just getting underway in our picks, talking about Thursday game, especially when there's a time difference. I believe there is a 1-hour time difference between Kansas City and LA. So you talk about that little bit of a time difference, talk about a short week. There's just so much going on. And I just don't know how the Chiefs are going to respond to that. But the Chiefs, like I said, have been really hot this year. And I don't know if that's going to stop the Chargers. Again, hot and cold. I like the Chiefs in this game. I like the Chiefs to win it. I like the Chiefs to cover a 3-point spread. Should be a fun one on Thursday night, though. A great way to get the Week 15 NFL season Week 15 of the 2021 NFL season started. Now we also get into some Saturday games, right? The first week of the NFL season, we see some Saturday games. The first one being Saturday at 4:30, the Las Vegas Raiders going to Cleveland, going against the Cleveland Browns. We're dealing with a lot of problems right now. A lot of problems due to something I can't say on the air, but we know what it is. A lot of players not going to be able to play in this game for the Browns. The Raiders, 1.5-point favorites in this one. And I remember that Raiders game last year on Saturday night. I think it was week 16 of the NFL season. They played the Miami Dolphins. You guys remember this game? Ryan Fitzpatrick leads the Dolphins back with just seconds left. They kick the game-winning field goal. It was a great game, and I expect a couple more great games on the Saturday slate. Two games that, this game here, the Raiders-Browns, really could go a long way in deciding a wild card spot in the AFC. Again, the Browns without a lot of their star players in this one, and that's what makes me lean towards Las Vegas. I know this is in Cleveland, right? The dog pound. But Cleveland really hasn't lived up to expectations this season. Even when they were fully healthy, I feel like they haven't lived up to expectations. And the Las Vegas Raiders, at the beginning of the season, were really hot. Then they started having all those problems, whether it be Gruden. Yes, Baker is out. Their starting quarterback is out. But they had that issue with John Gruden. They had that issue with Ruggs. And ever since then, it's just some really touch and go for the Las Vegas Raiders. So you're just not sure what you're going to get out of them. So this might be a good game. Give me the Vegas Raiders to win. Give me the Raiders to cover a 1.5 point spread. Then you go to 8:20 Saturday night, another good one, another one that could decide some playoff seeding in the AFC. The New England Patriots are on the road going up against the Indianapolis Colts. The Colts are actually 2.5 point favorites. That surprises me. The Patriots come off a bye week, a huge Monday night win 2 weeks ago against the Buffalo Bills. They've won 6, 7 in a row. And I just don't know if the Colts can hang with this team. Now, the good thing about the Colts is they have a pretty decent running attack themselves with Jonathan Taylor. And they could hold the ball and keep the ball away from the New England Patriots offense. However, that's also the Patriots type of style too. I mean, we saw the Monday night game where Mac Jones only had 3 passes total. The Patriots can run the ball. I think there's going to be few possessions in this game. I think this is going to be a fast-paced game. If you ask me, the Colts, again, 2.5 point favorites. I don't understand why the Colts are 2.5 point favorites. Carson Wentz, I know they're a better team. But I don't know why they're a better team than they were last year, the Colts, or at least a better team than they were at the beginning of the season this year. But they're not better than the Patriots. I don't believe that. I think the Patriots are just that good right now. They're on fire. They're coming off a bye week. Bill Belichick, you have an extra week to prepare for the Colts. I like the Patriots in this matchup. Daniel and I disagree on this one. I like the Patriots in this matchup, and I like the Patriots to beat a 2.5 point spread. Moving on to the Sunday slate of games. Again, all 32 teams playing 16 games. Already talked about 3. As you guys are getting in here, make sure you hit that thumbs up button and make sure that you like this video. And if you're not subscribed, hit that subscribe button. So we're talking about the Sunday games, and we start off with the 1 o'clock game between the Carolina Panthers and our Buffalo Bills. Bills are 10.5 point favorites in this one. And, guys, I just don't know what to think. I know this Panthers team is banged up too, but, you don't know what to think of Josh Allen, right? With that ankle injury that he suffered last week against the Buccaneers. You don't know what to make of this team. You really don't. It's been disappointing. I know the second half of the game last week against Tampa Bay Buccaneers has really given us reasons for optimism. I mean, they looked really good in the second half of the game last week against Tampa Bay, bringing themselves back from down 24-3 at halftime. But they couldn't get the job done. And, if they didn't start off in that hole, if they would have played the way they played in the second half the whole game, definitely was a winnable game for the Buffalo Bills. But we've said that a few times this season. The Jaguars game, the Steelers game, just to name a few games where if the Buffalo Bills would have been able to get off to a fast start, been the hotter team in that game, they would have won and won easily. 10.5 points is a lot of points at home. The Bills seem to not play well at home this season either. Give me the Bills to win this game. And you know what? As a fan, I'll say they cover the spread, but it's going to be close. I'm not sure. I think the one thing that might go in the Bills' favor is they try to get up early so that way they can put Mitch in and take Josh Allen out. That might be one reason why they try to get up early and then coast to a little bit of victory. Maybe get Josh Allen out at halftime. Going to Jacksonville, where the Jaguars are 3.5 point favorites against the Houston Texans. This game here might just decide who the number 1 overall pick it has in the 2022 NFL draft is. Neither of these teams playing really well right now. And everyone heard about what's going on with Jacksonville and Urban Meyer, so that's going to add a little bit of stuff to the conversation this week for the Jacksonville Jaguars. I feel like that is something that almost like with the Raiders with Ruggs and their head coach there. You don't want the players getting on too many. I'm a fan of the Bills covering. I'll stick with my prediction. Yeah, that's all we can do is stick with our predictions, and that's what we're going to do here. But you don't want the players of the Jaguars or any team to have their focus taken away from the game, what's on the field, the preparation each week. And when you talk about Urban Meyer, Coach Meyer doing whatever he's doing to his players, whatever he's doing outside of coaching, it takes away from that focus. And if you're not focused, it takes away from the play on the field. In this game, I like the Texans. I know they're 3.5-point underdogs on the road, but I like the Houston Texans in this game. Give me the Texans to win it. Give me the Texans to beat a 3.5-point spread. It means Jacksonville might be on a crash course before that number 1, maybe number 2 overall seed next year in the draft. Yeah, because the Lions will be the 1 seed, right? Lions are terrible. 1 win, whatever, and a tie. Then we go on to the Tennessee Titans against the Pittsburgh Steelers. Steelers at home, 2-point underdogs. The Steelers always play better at home. I like how the Steelers play at home. The Steelers still have a good team overall. Above average team. Again, at the beginning of the season when the Steelers beat the Buffalo Bills, you thought we lost to an inferior team. It's really proving that the Steelers are right there in competition-wise with the Buffalo Bills, record-wise. Just a lot of things going the Steelers' way. Mike Tomlin, a good head coach, going to have this team ready to play. Titans still missing Derrick Henry, right? They have a good running game still, but it's not what it was with Derrick Henry. I feel like they take Ryan Tannehill away. That really leaves the Titans with not much on the offensive side of the ball. And I like the Steelers just like Daniel here. I like the Steelers to win at home. Give me the Steelers to win. Give me the Steelers to beat a 2-point spread. Then you go on to another AFC East rivalry. You have the Miami Dolphins at home, 10-point favorites against the New York, New Jersey Jets. The Jets coming in, Wilson playing a little bit better, but still just not being able to find a good rhythm. The Dolphins coming off a bye week, and we know how hot the Dolphins have been. So I really like the Dolphins in this matchup. However, even though I like the Dolphins in this matchup, I just don't know how much I like the Dolphins to cover a big spread. And Danny and I, again, agree on this one. This is a big spread for the Dolphins, 10 points. I just don't know if they can cover that even at home. The Dolphins win this game, but I think the Jets kind of stay in it. The Jets really don't have many games left on their season, so every game's going to have a little bit more, mean a little bit more to them as their season comes to an end. The Dolphins fighting for that playoff spot, I understand that. I think they dug themselves too much of a hole earlier in the season, but they're definitely playing better, and I think they win this game. But again, I don't think they cover a 10-point spread, but we all know how I feel about double-digit spreads. And talking about double-digit spreads, the New York Football Giants are at home, and they're 10.5-point underdogs to the Dallas Cowboys. Another rivalry game. I'm not going to go against the road team, the home team, I should say, in divisional matchup when it comes to spreads, right? 10 points is just way too many points. Give me the Giants to cover that spread at home, but give me the Dallas Cowboys to win this game. I think Dallas comes out. Dak gets a little bit out of his funk and is able to put some points on the board. I really like the over in this game. Give me the Dallas Cowboys to win it, but give me the Giants to cover a 10.5-point spread. Next in the NFC East, the other two teams, the Philadelphia Eagles at home, 7-point favorites against the Washington football team. The Washington football team has been playing better, right? You have to give them credit where credit is due. They have been playing better, unfortunately for them. Again, kind of like the Dolphins in some cases, maybe a case of a little too late type thing. Eagles coming off their bye week and playing a little bit better than they were in the beginning of the season. The Eagles still potentially in the wild card discussion. So is the Washington football team. And so this could go a little bit of a, whoever loses this game is out of the playoff picture, in my opinion. Whoever wins this game still has a shot in the wild card rounds. I still think Dallas is the favorite in the NFC East. I like the Eagles in this game at home, coming off a bye week. Again, they've been playing better. Now, will that continue to happen? throughout the season? I don't know. But I think they win this game. Do they cover a 7-point spread? That's a tall task. In fact, this game might be a push. The Eagles might win by 7 points. But give me the Eagles to win this game. Give me the Eagles to cover at home a 7-point spread. Moving to the late afternoon games, the 4 or 5 games, you got the Cincinnati Bengals at the Denver Broncos. The Broncos 2.5-point favorites. I like the Bengals in this game. We saw the Bengals fight to come back against the 49ers last week, force overtime, and almost won that game against the 49ers. Just unable to do so. 49ers scored touchdown late. I like the Bengals in this matchup. I know it's in Denver, which might give the Broncos a little bit of an edge. But give me Joe Burrow. Give me a really prolific offense that the Cincinnati Bengals have. Cincy wins, and Daniel has Washington beating the Eagles. Wow. But Cincy wins and Cincy beats that 2.5-point spread. The other 4 or 5 game, the 49ers are at home coming off their win against the Bengals. They are 9-point favorites against the Atlanta Falcons. I feel like the Falcons have lost a lot of close games this year. I could be wrong, but when I look at the scoreboard with the Falcons, sure, they've been blown out once or twice this season. I know that. But at the same time, I feel like they've been in a lot of close games, right? Matt Ryan still professional when it comes to and still really good at his craft when it comes to being able to throw the ball downfield and create plays with the weapons that are around him. The 49ers, that defense, still no joke. And if they're able to put up a solid amount of points in the game, it's really hard to keep up with them. It's really hard to match them point for point. And they've just been playing better over the second half of the season. Give me the 49ers to win this game. However, 9 points, again, a lot. I know they're at home, but I think 9 points is a lot against a veteran-savvy guy like a Matt Ryan. Give me the Falcons to cover the spread. Give me the 49ers to win the game. Going to the 425 slate games, it starts with an NFC West showdown as the Seahawks go up against the Rams. Rams coming off a huge victory last week against the Cardinals on Monday Night Football. The Rams kind of making a case that they're the best team in the NFC and potentially the best team in the NFL. And the Seahawks coming off a win themselves last week, I believe, coming off a little bit of a better performance overall over the past few weeks. I think the Seahawks make this one a game. The Seahawks cover a 7-point spread. But I think the Rams are on fire right now, and the Rams know what's in front of them and what they have to do to get that number 1 overall seed. If they win out, I think they're the number 1 overall seed, and I think the Rams start with a win against Seattle, division foe, at 4:25 on Sunday late afternoon. Then you go on to the Green Bay Packers on the road, going to the Baltimore Ravens. You want to talk about a team that's just been decimated with injuries. This Ravens team continues. It seems like no one else can get hurt. It's Lamar Jackson and just a bunch of dudes. And they've been good enough. They've been good enough to keep up in the NFC North and still lead the NFC North. Rams have a lot of players out like Odell Beckham. I do know that. But I still like the Rams to pull this one out. Again, I think the Seahawks cover the spread. But I like the Rams to pull this one out. But yeah, it seems like, you tell the Baltimore Ravens that they have Lamar Jackson and a bunch of dudes, and they're still winning. The Packers, of course, have that man, Aaron Rodgers, right? Always a dangerous guy to give the ball to. I think it's going to be a fun game to watch since I don't have a 425 game of interest as the Bills will be over by that time. This might be the game that I tune in for in the 4 o'clock slate of games. It's going to be a fun one. Give me the Packers to win the game. Give me the Ravens to cover a 5-point spread. I think Lamar keeps it close. But overall, Aaron Rodgers, you just can't stop him. And I think the Green Bay Packers keep on their winning ways and win another one. They move on to the Sunday night football game. Sunday night football. And it's going to be a game, a division rival again. The NFC South should not be that great of a game. Be interesting to see what the Saints have in mind to try to keep this one interesting as the New Orleans Saints go on the road to play against the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. The Bucs, 11-point favorites in this one. Obviously Tom Brady and the Buccaneers with their overtime victory against the Bills last week. The New Orleans Saints they beat the Jets last week and they looked a little bit better, but it was against the Jets. So, and Daniel comes in and says Saints in an upset. He says the Saints will pull off the upset here. I don't know if I'm going to be that bold, okay? I'll be a little bit bold here and say that they cover an 11-point spread. But I don't know. We saw the Buccaneers really give up a huge lead last week. And the Bills should never been in that game after halftime. 24-3. They don't score on their first drive coming back in the second half. the Bills really shouldn't have been off in that game. Now, whether it was a case of Tampa Bay taking their foot off our throats, or whether it was a case of Buffalo just finding their groove a little bit, the Buffalo Bills shouldn't have been in that game. I think the Saints cover the spread. But give me Tom Brady. Give me the Buccaneers. We saw them get hot towards the end of last year in their Super Bowl run. They know they got to do something similar to that again. Give me the Buccaneers to win, but give me the Saints to cover an 11-point spread. They move on to the last game of Week 15, Monday Night Football. Another divisional game. A lot of divisional games this week. This one in the NFC North. It's fun as you come to the end of a season to see all these divisional matchups taking place. Means the NFL kind of got the scheduling right. Now, I know these two teams might not be the teams you want to see on Monday Night Football, but the Vikings still have a lot on the line here. The Bears, not so much, other than to see what Justin Fields can bring to the team for the upcoming seasons. Maybe see Matt Nagy can keep his job, but he's definitely on the hot seat. I think he should be gone after this season. But the Vikings, again, one of those teams that every once in a while they look really good. They beat the Rams, they beat the Packers, they beat some really good teams, but then they lose to teams that they probably should be beating. And it just really makes you wonder who this Minnesota Vikings team really is. Now there are 3.5-point favorites on the road. Give me the Vikings to win this game. And the Bears have bit me in the butt a few times this season. But I'm going to be with Daniel here. I think the Vikings win this game. But on Monday Night Football, 3.5 points. I think Justin Fields and the Chicago Bears keep it close. Maybe lose by a field goal late. The Vikings win this game, but the Bears cover the spread. So those are my Week 15 picks. Again, let's go over them again. Straight up, I got the Chiefs, Raiders, Patriots, Bills, Texans, Steelers, Cardinals, Dolphins, Cowboys, Eagles, Bengals, 49ers, Rams, Packers, Bucks, Vikings. Against the spread, Chiefs, Raiders, Patriots, Bills, Texans, Steelers, Cardinals, Jets, Giants, Eagles, Bengals, Falcons, Seahawks, Ravens, Saints, and the Chicago Bears. Those are my picks. I hope you all enjoyed this episode of Razor Sharp Picks as we go over every single game, both straight up and against the spread. Let me know your picks in the comment section. Again, if you haven't already hit that thumbs up button, like this video, comment, let me know what your picks are, and I look forward to seeing them and responding before the game start tomorrow with the Chiefs against the Chargers. I will see you all Sunday, 12:30 Eastern time for the game between the Carolina Panthers and our Buffalo Bills. Until I do, go Bills.